travelers, and welcome to today's video. So I am starting a brand new series on my channel, and it is called Reading Around the World with Carson. I absolutely love to travel, but I also have other hobbies, and one of my other hobbies that I have is reading. I have always loved to read ever since I can remember, and I love any kind of story. But some of my favorite stories are stories about travel. Since my channel is about travel, I figured that it would be a good idea and a fun idea to start talking about traveling books. These books will have some sort of travel theme throughout them, and I picked them so they're inspiring to you. They inspired me, so I hope they're inspiring to you. So my Reading Around the World with Carson video series will take us traveling through books. As much as I love to travel 24/7, it is not always possible, and my way to escape my regular life for a bit is being able to read, and I usually pick books that have some sort of travel theme through them because that just interests me, obviously. So I thought it would be a fun way to get you guys talking and get us inspired to travel by talking about books that have a travel theme in them. All of my book reviews will always be spoiler free, so if you haven't read any of these books, don't worry because I will never give anything away in my videos. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to our first book of Reading Around the World with Carson. So the first book is Wild by Cheryl Stayed, and this was recently also a movie. So you guys might have seen the movie, you guys might read the book. It's a really good book. So I'm going to give you guys a brief synopsis of the story so you can get a little bit idea of what the story is about. So Cheryl Stayed is this woman that has had a lot of trouble in her lifetime. Her mother has passed away from a very serious illness, and she dabbled in a lot of, not good things, a lot of sexual things, and a little bit of drugs, and she comes to a point in her life where she realizes that she must change. So she randomly sees a book about the PCT, which is the Pacific Crest Trail, and it goes through her mind for the next few months, and then finally she decides that she needs to hike this so she can change who she is and come to oneself and have a moment where she will be able to change into the person that she wants to be. So the PCT is out west. It is mostly through California, but it starts in Mexico and goes all the way to Canada. And it's this very long hike that I believe takes 3 months to do if you do all of it and you do it like continuously, like every day. It typically takes about 3 months. There's only around 200 to 300 hikers that hike it every single year, so it's not as popular as the Appalachian Trail, which I'm sure some of you guys have heard of. So throughout the story, we get to follow her on her hike through the PCT while she's meeting people. She's having moments where she really questions herself, and we also get flashbacks from her past, her past years, from her mother, from her marriage, and other things that she just needs to go through in her mind. I always will say a con whenever I read any book, and my biggest con about this book is that it was a little hard to get into. The first 100 pages or so, I was really afraid that I wasn't going to like the book. There was just a lot of details, and it was a little slow. But once I hit after those 100 pages, I couldn't put it down. It was amazing, an amazing story. I absolutely loved it, and it just inspired me so much to get out there and to also learn about myself. I think one of the biggest themes throughout this whole story is inspiring yourself to do the things you're afraid of. And I think that is something that we all do when we travel. It's really scary to go to new countries and to learn about other cultures that you just don't know much about. The unknown is scary, really. And I think that Cheryl, how she went through this whole journey and she had no idea what was going to happen. She really wasn't that prepared. she just went into it, and even though she was scared, and I think that's really great and it's really inspiring because it inspires you to start creating and taking the chances to do stuff that you're afraid of. And I think that's a huge thing with travel. You know, when I travel, I hope to inspire others to travel as well, and I hope that they wouldn't be afraid, but I know how it is, because when I first started traveling, it is really scary to travel to new places. So I think just reading someone else's story really inspires you, and I hope that I'm doing the same with my videos, and it just makes me realize that, you know, it's always good to inspire others. It's always good to step out of your comfort zone and do things that you're afraid of. And, you know, some things might not work out, but if you like stepped over that boundary and you went for something that you're afraid of, I think that's what really counts. And I think a lot of people do that with travel, which is why I mention it, because a lot of people are afraid to travel, but they go for it and they end up having an amazing time. Another theme throughout the story is doing more things outside. It's so easy to get caught up on the computer, watching TV, you know, being inside constantly. I guess I never really I knew about the PCT before, but I guess I never really knew that much about it, and reading it makes me want to do it so badly because there seems to be such a big community throughout this. And I also think there's some really good themes throughout the story, you know, traveling, go hike the PCT, just amazing stuff, and it makes me want to get out so bad. It makes me want to hike the PCT. So that's why I wanted to mention this in a video, because this book is so good and I cannot wait to watch the movie. So Wild was my first pick for Reading Around the World with Carson. It is an excellent story. I would not suggest it if I didn't truly like it. Like I said, it's a little hard to get into, but once you get into it, I promise this is a beautiful story. It may even make you cry at some points. Not me. I have like buns of steel, so I don't cry very often, but it's pretty good. I'm sure you guys will like this, and it will definitely inspire you to travel, to get out more, and to love yourself. And that's why I mention it in this video. If you guys want more videos like this for Reading Around the World with Carson, which I hope you do because I love talking about books and I love talking about travel, go ahead and thumbs up this video so I know that you guys want to see more videos like this, and I will see you guys next video. Happy travels!